Nation, what's up? So, I have been extremely excited about the new generation of gaming. Like, I know I keep talking about it, and if you've been watching the channel for the past couple months, I mention this every once in a while. I'll make a video about talking about the future of gaming, the next generation, the PlayStation 5, the new Xbox, and how it's going to pertain to 2K. Like, I get really excited about this stuff for whatever reason. This is like, it gets me hyped. This is my crack, okay?
Who is on crack?
And Microsoft released more information yesterday about the Xbox Series X. A lot of new information, a lot of stuff confirming things, and I want to talk about how it's going to pertain to 2K really quickly. It's just a couple points. It's going to be a discussion video more than anything. Let's get this video started. But right before this video starts, if you're one of the 57% of viewers who watch these videos and is not subscribed, don't be lame. Be an OG, join the Peg Nation, and subscribe. So, here's a picture I'll put up. You can see all the information they basically announced, and they also announced a couple more things they said in the press conference that I'll announce to you right now in a second. But first is the big one, the number one. 12 teraflops of GPU performance, essentially. So that's 8 times more than the current Xbox One, which is a pretty significant jump, as you can imagine. That makes things, when it comes to 2K, pretty obvious. It's just gonna look better more than anything. Graphically, it'll run better. But I want to talk about the even more specific details of graphics, like the VRS, which is variable rate shading, and ray tracing. Essentially, this is the important part when it comes to 2K, right? What's basically gonna happen is that I can put more things on the screen, right? Like, for example, snow in the park, and my frames won't start freaking out, and I can't make my greens because my frames are jumping all over the place. That will not happen anymore, or at least it should be fixed a major part in the next generation. The frames should be stable from now on. It should be even higher resolution, and it should have no impact on the image quality of the game, so it should still look good. The frames won't start jumping around while you're playing online. And you can put even more stuff, like maybe it can actually start snowing while we're playing and the game won't freak out. It shouldn't anymore. These consoles are going to be way too strong for that to happen. Another thing is quick resume for multiple games. So I'm actually curious about this one. Quick resume. Xbox has already been apparently experimenting with this, but this is official now. They're gonna have quick resume in the Xbox Series X. This is what it basically means. When you boot up your console and you go into 2K, it might take a minute or two to get into the game and then take another minute or two to jump into the park. Now, theoretically, you can, instead of turning off the game, you would stop the game, pause the game, and it wouldn't run in the background. It would just stop in that moment. So let's say you're in the park and you stop. It would put it away, and if you want to go back into 2K or 2K21, whatever it's gonna be called, you go in and boom, you're already back in the park in an instant. Quick resume. Oh, that's exciting. Like, no more having to wait. I'm tired of loading screens. I'm tired of having to wait to go into the park. I can just boom, appear in there immediately, quick resume, back in it. That's something that I think Xbox Series X is pretty dope for. Another thing is that they're gonna have HDMI 2.1 support, which basically means this is a direct feed. It's even better. It's all about image quality and speed. This is gonna be so much cleaner, so much better. So already things that are big problems with me in 2K is that frame rate problems, lag problems, server problems are all looking to be pretty much fixed in that sense. And then graphically, it's gonna look even better. And then finally, speaking about graphics, the major confirmation today is support for 8K games. Now, this could mean a bunch of things. It could mean two things. First, it could say, hey, we make 8K games now on for Xbox. So that means that NBA 2K21 would be an 8K game, which is ridiculous in graphics. Like, we're talking about like details that I can't even explain. Like, you could see the pattern on people's skin, fingerprints. You can see every single like hair on an eyebrow. We're talking about like ridiculous graphics and detail. But it could also mean that they just say that they're supporting 8K games, and in reality, it's only 4K games, but in theory, it could run an 8K game. So either way, it's still a major increase graphically, but hopefully it's 8K and ridiculous. Now, the important one they said is 120 frames per second. They announced that that's what it's gonna run. There's a couple problems that I have with that. First, everyone thinks that they're lying. Like,
I don't believe you.
There's no way they could support that without it being super expensive. Now, I'm sure they have some kind of loophole. They're finding a way to get to that. But most people don't have things that run 120 frames per second. But if they do, hey, that's awesome. 120 frames per second is ridiculous. It's going to look super clean. The window for green releases, for example, 2K will be a lot more accurate because there's a lot more frames to go off. Frame data will be a lot more interesting to talk about. But I also think that we're gonna have to wait and see how 120 frames even works on this Xbox, and if people can even have monitors that can run that, but we'll have to wait and see. That's it for this video, guys. Just a quick little update. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited? Leave it in the comments below, and if you like my channel, give it a sub, and I'll see you guys next time.